Saturday morning, we're back with you. Thanks for tuning in. Cup of coffee, and let's get this morning going, at least your Saturday morning, right here on the radio, the Collector's Radio and everything. Hot coffee this morning. Hopefully your coffee is just as hot. Or you may not be tuning in the morning. You may be tuning in the afternoon, or maybe at night. So, so I guess some people, you could drink coffee all day. Some people work late. I got a friend of mine who works overnights. He's a graveyard shift, so coffee in throughout the middle of the night is his friend. But all right, so we're going to go ahead and read your comments, no particular order. Again, if your comment wasn't read, it's either because you posted it after the production of the show, or for whatever reason it just got yanked. Not like the wrestler, Dr. Yankum. All right, here we go. We got one here from Robert, and he says, yes, I used everything I had. And we're talking about the line from Cobra. Cobra is one of those cool films that just came out during the 80s, later, mid until late, I think it was later 80s. It's just one of those films that is just awesome. A lot of the people that didn't get to experience those movies when they were, because I remember going to the video rental store and seeing the big cardboard display of obviously Stallone sitting there with that, what was it, a Jetta-matic or something, I don't know, whatever that rifle, the submachine gun thing he had in it. Really cool, of course, with Glacier safety slugs. But yeah, that is a really awesome scene. I really have to get my hat off to a lot of those movies from back then. It really made my childhood rock. I tell you, even though most of it for me was VHS and renting them and everything, but it still made things just awesome. So, and especially too, like experiencing for me, for me the wrestling was WWF, and I remember all those, obviously when Roddy Piper was doing his whole shtick all the way up to the Attitude Era was just phenomenal stuff. So, all right. Crazy Scotsman, hey brother, and I hope you are doing well. Another fine show. Obviously, we have talked since my appointment. I'll keep you posted, and we appreciate that. Much prayers to you, and also, a special moment here that we want to thank, Harrison Mantooth, Stan. Hope you're doing good, and we have been missing you, missing your comment at least here on the show. So. Definitely, we always encourage you, everybody, to comment and be part of the show. You are what makes this show. All right, Mick, good morning. Wanted to share my experience real quick with my new 6-inch python, my blue python. I bought it first part of May, got it home, realized I had some issues. I was so disappointed. The cylinder release was crunchy. The Sky Me Action Reset was getting stuck in the rear position when it was loaded. The cylinder wouldn't turn, just a ton of issues. So I had to send it back to Colt. Just got the call and they're saying I should be getting it back this weekend, 3 months later. So I updated the channel. I hope they took care of the issues. There was nothing more frustrating than getting a new Python, having to send it back right away for repairs. Own 2 other 2020 Pythons and Anaconda. They were most refined revolvers ever. So it was a big shock when I got the blued one. Sorry for rambling. Thanks for another great show. Well, Mick, that's really disappointing to hear that happened to you. I've gotten my hands on quite a few blued pythons, got to fondle quite a few. Obviously even own my 6-inch one that I have shot the ever-living bluing out of it. And that's disappointing to hear that you had such a rotten experience there. But hopefully that's just one in a few, but you know what? That's par for the course, unfortunately, when products are on the market and things get remissed, and if it's Colt, Glock, Smith & Wesson, or Sig. I guess it's just kind of things that happen, and we just gotta. I heard it from Small Arm Solutions that he said it the best. He says it's not about the problem, it's about how they take care of it. So anyway, hopefully it is resolved for you and you get to enjoy it, because I am a huge fan of Colt's new double action revolvers that they got out. Especially I got my eyes on like the Viper, and for sure a Anaconda in 44 Magnum, because I definitely would love to have a beautiful specimen like those, and something that can handle the Magnums or the 357s like that. So definitely, but yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but I do appreciate you sharing those things with us. Okay. Mike says, good morning, JW. Been enjoying your show. I have a Kimber Warrior 1911. It's a Jam-O-Matic. It's been to the factory twice. I use Wilson mags, and with others, it jams. Kimber doesn't back up their products. Jodie Foster caught my eye in a movie, Tom Sawyer. Though Kate Jackson is my lifelong Hollywood crush. Best wishes from Montana. That is from Mike there, out of Montana. Yeah, that I guess we all have our Hollywood crushes, and definitely, Jodie Foster is, for me. She's. I think she looked the best, in my opinion, the best in the movie The Brave One. She was smoking hot in that, I tell you. Sorry to hear about your Warrior. I had a Warrior way back in the beginning of the channel. I had a Kimber Warrior. The only thing that mine was an issue with when I first got it was the slide was locking back premature with rounds still in the magazine. As it turned out, that was a slide stop issue. I didn't know a whole lot about 1911s and how they function at the time when I was experiencing that. Had I known, it was just a quick taking some work with a file. But I was sent a new slide stop from them to replace it. However, the slide stop that was on mine originally was a nice kind of more of a satin finish, and then the one I got in the mail was more of a flat sandpapery looking one. Which I was like, that's kind of disappointing, but it did work after that. But again, there we go. It's like, be it a Colt or Kimber or something. There's, unfortunately, there are lemons out there. They exist. Anything with a production line that you're going through, it's gonna exist. Even I'm sure Wilson Combat's put out a couple lemons. All right, Sean Lee, morning Bat Jack. Those are two solid revolver picks. What a coincidence! You have a Model 28 on the table, as I just bought a 28-2 that I'm waiting to pick up from my FFL. I also got some old Stag grips to put on it. Can't wait to pick it up. Have a great weekend. What an awesome revolver. I love the Model 28. That's my favorite of the N-frame 357s that they made. I do like the 28 over the 27, even though the 27 is more gorgeous. But then again, that's an opinion to be determined, because I actually find the 28 very attractive. I like the fact that it is what it was geared for, and it's really cool that it says Highway Patrolman on the side of that barrel. That's what I think is really cool, because I really dig a lot of the law enforcement 70s stuff, and that's like really awesome, anyway. All right, Joe P, my man Joe, swig of coffee for Joe. Joe, I think you've been absent a couple shows, or at least your comment has, but I hope you're doing well. Best to the Scotsman, the crazy Scotsman. The Model 10 snub is a dream gun for me. It's just fantastic. And while I have never seen True Detective yet, when you just started to describe it, I immediately thought of the Al Pacino movie Insomnia, which takes place in Alaska. Robin Williams plays a creepy guy. Yes, that is another really good Alaska movie. Alaska detective cop movie with Al Pacino and Robin Williams. That is a good one. That is one of Pacino really did a good job in that one. Before he was getting older already, And I think that was, between that and Heat, you can see where he was kind of really refined as an older actor right there, but he was still punchy, and still could, pull things off. But you know what, Joe, I gotta say, so I didn't see the other, like the part season 2 and 3, because from what I understand about True Detective, each season is its own story. Season 1 is got Woody Harrelson in it. That's the reason I wanted to see it. Although when looking back at it, I gotta say the one with Jodie Foster, Night Country, completely blows the first one out of the water. The one with Jodie Foster is, to me, that is a keeper for me. That's going to stay in my collection. I'm like, yeah, I got to keep that one because it's super cool. Yes, I got a thing for Jodie Foster, but yeah, it's just I think it's well done, the story. I've watched it twice through already, and definitely looking forward for a third time. So that's usually a keeper, an indication of keeper for me, because my physical media movies that I keep, and I love having the physical copy, I will watch over and over and over again. All right, Squib Lift. I haven't made much time to catch your shows on Saturday mornings for a while now. Yes, you have been absent, and I get it. Life is busy. My life is very busy. I've been busy with other stuff. I listened while cutting up vegetables from the garden this morning and making breakfast. Thanks for the show. Yes, I did catch your videos on your garden and stuff like that. It's really cool. Also, yeah, Squib Lift, Squib Load. He's got the 2 channels there. Yeah, I love that stovetop, discussions and stuff he does. Really awesome idea. That was really cool. All right, Tom says, good morning from West Virginia, I believe, here. And we say good morning, Tom. All right, Warren. Hi, Batjack. Best wishes to Crazy Scotsman. Yes, we do appreciate that, and thank you. And I do love how everybody bands together, and we want everybody in the best health and together here, so we can all keep enjoying the show every Saturday morning. All right, Slim. Morning, JW. I hope you have a safe and nice weekend. I am with you on the price jump on some of the firearms. For instance, the Colt Classic 1911 sold for $700. Yes, I remember. That's what I bought mine for. Now being sold up over $900. Thanks for this video, Slim. Yes, you are correct. I only can speak on the behalf of, because I have a really good friend that's in the business that hooks me up. He always, that's one of his criticisms, he can't get Colts for, his cost on that Colt Classic you're talking about is more than $700. His cost, his dealership cost is more than $700. So there you go. It's a lot more than that, so it costs them a pretty penny. In fact, by the time he gets it in, puts it in his shelf, literally the guy barely can make anything on it because the cost is so high. And that is from all of the major distributors that you can get from, Sports South, Lipsy's, all that. It's like, come on, when a dealer when a dealer has to pay $900 for just the thing itself, and then where are they left with? How can they stay in business when they've shelled out 90% of the cost already? So what, they leaves them 10% or something? Excuse me. Jeffrey Richardson said, praying for all our brothers. Yes. The Real Cobra Burnout, boom. Real Cobra Burnout has a really unique channel as well. He's another one that definitely deserves a shout out. He did a string of content videos on unboxing or unbagging Bud K, those, I guess it was monthly, you pay, it was like a $50 bag or whatever you paid for it, and it was supposed to be loaded with X amount of dollars worth of stuff. He did a whole bunch of those, a whole series of those videos, and I tell you, that was some of the best, funniest, most entertaining videos. I still go back and watch them from time to time. Code Burnout, really, what an entertaining segments, and his channel alone, he's just hilarious. The guy's got a great sense of humor. You can laugh with his videos all the time. So, yes. All right, Toot, I don't know. Seen Metallica last night at Soldier Field. I'm sorry, I can't read some of these. In Chicago, they were awesome. Yeah, you know what's crazy? They're still going. Metallica is one of the few heavy bands that I like that I've been listening to since I was a teenager. I remember waiting at what is it? I think it was Tower Records at the time for one of their midnight releasings or whatever to get that. Back when the CDs or the cassette tapes came in, like, they packaged them in these big long things. All right, Wolf Ruger GP 100 or 101 all the way for me. Way better than anything other than the Red Hawk. Yes, everybody to each their own. Whatever you like. Shadow Wolf. I'm a long-time sub. Oh, this is a long one here. I'm a long-time sub. Really enjoy your videos. They are very enjoyable and full of info. Thank you. Appreciate that. I do have a question about the RIA 38 Special Revolvers, the model 200-206. What is the correct... okay, I'm reading your comment. I can't really, because of things, I can't describe what you're talking about here. Okay, so what you're... I have to go back and remember because I had gotten rid of that thing so many years ago. That piece you're talking about does go one way because it is off-centered, from my recollection. You have to kind of remember which way it goes because it is off-centered. That's from what I can remember. And look at the post that goes through. It should have a hole on the bottom, I think, and you can stick a paper clip in it and capture it. I think that was the way you do it. Sorry, we can't discuss those type of things anymore on this platform, so apologize, but hopefully that helps you out. All right, let's see. I know your early videos, you have experience with them. Yeah, a little bit. I'm definitely I'm just more of an adventurous person with a screwdriver that's screwed a lot of things up. What are your thoughts on using plus P ammo in the RI revolvers? Seen the company say it says plus P 38 loads can be used on a limited basis. Thanks for the advice and taking the time to answer my questions. Really appreciate your videos. Yeah, when they say stuff like that in limited use, just keep in mind, yeah, any of the hotter stuff especially revolvers and stuff like that, it's brutal on them. It's abusive to the frame. You gotta also ask yourself, in a sense, is it really necessary to keep doing it? Even my for instance, like my Blue Python, I do not fire full Magnum 357 Magnum in it all the time. I mean, I may take a few with me and blast it just because it's the cool factor of having it. But most of the time, I shoot some moderate to maybe some plus P 38s out of it, and that's the majority of what it eats up. Yeah, I mean, carry or something like that if that's what you want to do. Yeah, but yeah. They won't. It's not that they won't handle it, but I mean, you're not going to be rolling through boxes and boxes and boxes for it. I'm sure some stuff is going to start happening. That would be my guess. Some issues. Keep in mind with revolvers, you always got to look at forward to end shake in the cylinder and side to side issues and slop and stuff like that starts to be, and then timing goes out. So, anyway. Sorry, hope it helps you out, but we no longer can discuss those type of things on this platform. All right, Squib. This is from Squiblobe. I don't endorse anything on YouTube that I don't use or haven't had any positive experience with. Wilson Combat should pay you. Ballastall should too. You know, yeah, I mean, it would be nice, but no, I agree with you. The stuff I talk about is because it works. I've had really nothing but great experience with Wilson Combat magazines, and I think for the money, if I was like, I mean, you already know my choice. If I was gonna dive into that realm, as I did, as far as a higher end 1911, I did choose the Wilson Combat, and definitely did not disappoint me. I do find that their products are absolutely wonderful. Pricey. It is now priced me out of the market for them, so I gotta stick with what I've got, and enjoy the toys that I already have. All right, we're gonna get into some physical media stuff, some really cool movies that you may or may not know is out there on physical media, because I'm a really big fan of everything physical media, and especially my old movies that I really love. And this is coming from Kino Lorber, KL Studios, in other words. So every time I go to my local record store, I hit up that section, because you never know what they're releasing. And this is some movies, a couple movies that you may or may not know that has been released. I think we've mentioned these on the channel before. But anyway, Murphy's Law with Charles Bronson has been released on Blu-ray. If you recall, Twilight Time had this released, and Twilight Time stuff, and that's the studios usually that release them, was getting really pricey, as well as his movie The Mechanic with Jan Michael Vincent. Those were really extremely pricey. Now The Mechanic is re-released under Scorpion Releasing. They did it. But anyway, KL Studios went ahead and redid it. Murphy's Law with Kathleen Wilhoit, another crush of mine, especially the 80s, because she just looked awesome. But 1986, Murphy's Law. This is directed by J. Lee Thompson. I'm a big Charlie Bronson fan, and this is one of the cooler. During this time frame, during the 80s, Bronson was just releasing a bunch of, some people could call them generic action films, whatever. I eat them up like candy. Murphy's Law is definitely one of them that was just, to me, really cool. You had other ones like Mr. Majestic and stuff like that. I think Mr. Majestic might have been in the 70s though. But Murphy's Law was a long string of like 10 to Midnight, Kinjete, all those other ones that just, where he was just a hard-nosed cop. So this one is definitely one of the cool ones. Pretty still an interesting storyline. The other one was Assassination, where he plays like a Secret Service guy. So he was changing it up. But I mean, the Canon Films era stuff, man. Oh man, they produced some of the coolest movies out there. But Murphy's Law, check that one out if you're interested in these, especially when you're picking up physical media, which I'm a big fan of, obviously. So there it is. Cool cover. That's the original VHS looking cover. Obviously, this is a slip cover and the real deal there. Though my only complaint about Kino Lorber or whatever, KL Studios, their discs are fairly generic. Just they all look the same. Just the little thing there. I wish they actually did take some more time with the artwork and done a little bit more with that. But hey, I'm just glad that they're doing stuff like this. The other one that they released is The Hunter. Steve McQueen's last movie came out in 1980 before he unfortunately passed away. The Hunter is one of my favorite McQueen movies, and he plays this the bounty hunter, Ralph Papa Thorson or something. But really cool, and it says it's from the original camera negative. They went back and redid this, so really cool, love it. Anyway, there's the cover. Oh, I haven't actually seen it for a while, so there's the other what's underneath there. So pretty cool. I always remember that cover there. All right, so there's your physical media talk and films. Awesome stuff. All right, you know what? I bet you're wondering why the heck this Saturday show was called what it was called. And that's because I found and discovered it, and took me a while to get a hold of them. I had to have my buddy get them, bring them in for me. Federal, believe it or not, and we're not endorsing Federal or anything like that. It's just something that they happen to be doing, which I think is super cool. They're making paper 12-gauge shotgun shells again. Paper shells. Yes, the old school deal. That's really cool. You know, I got wind that they were doing this. I scoured through local shops trying to find them. Nobody ever had them. So I decided to have my buddy locate them for me and bring them in for me. And I got some, because I just think that's so cool. Because my grandfather, World War II veteran, when he used to hunt and stuff like that, he had paper shotgun shells. That was what was around. So it's kind of neat, that they went back and redid this. My theory, or I believe the reason why they started doing this, because they're actually advertised for competition clay, clay and skeet, I'm sure. When you're burning through a lot of shells, as they do, I'm sure those chambers get hot, and from my understanding, the plastic sometimes gets stuck because it's kind of melting in there or something like that. However, the paper does not. They re-engineered this a little bit, from what I understand. They kind of reconstructed the paper to a little bit better quality and everything. But yeah, it is indeed paper. That's super cool. So I wanted to share a funny story with you about what my mom told me about paper shotgun shells and my grandfather. As you know, my grandfather was a hunter. He was a World War II veteran and a hunter. He went out turkey hunting or whatever, so that's what he used to do with an old either a side-by-side or something like that, or a break action single shot. So my mom, when she was younger, wanted some BBs for something, and so she went and took his shotgun shells and opened them up carefully and dumped the BBs out and kept them, and then closed it back up and put them back in his box. Well, my grandfather took that box and went to his turkey hunt and couldn't figure out why he was missing the turkeys. So, yes, and you can imagine the discussion that my grandfather had with my mother when he got home. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this week's show. I do appreciate everybody that comments and comes around and hangs out with us for literally 27 minutes and 40 seconds of your life that you will never, ever get back. Anyway, to the sunny slopes of long ago.